Robin, issue 6, Joshua Williamson writing with Gleb Melnikov on the art. And this is the fighting begins, the tournament actually begins. And the tournament stuff is fun, although it's actually some of the other stuff that's my favourite of the book,
Yeah.
bizarrely. So, yes, Damien's taking on Blue Strike, round one, as it says.
Now, did you read the last fight, like in the Mortal Kombat voice? Because I did.
Yeah,
Where it has the
I guess.
fight, and then
Well, I don't know because it's like it's clearly meant to be the chant. It's meant to be the chant of the crowd. But so if it was just one fight, I probably would have heard fight. But
yeah.
So it's like a sort of montage double page layout of like all the fights happening. A bunch of the the D, F, and G listers getting their asses whooped in round one. And then Damien takes on Tengu in round two and wins that fight. Do you know what Tengu was making me think of? Unsurprisingly. Remember the Power Rangers movie when they go to the planet? There's like the bird?
Yeah, that's what they're based on, though. Tengu are a Japanese, like, I don't want to say an evil spirit because I don't know if necessarily they're evil, but they are like these bird warrior creatures. I like how Damien straight up murders Blue Strike with a head snap, which, as we know, what kind of led him to this tournament with Alfred. This is dark, right? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, him versus Tengu. I thought this was
there's a lot more motion in this fight. There's a lot of sweeping and swords and running. But Damien ultimately kicks the katana into the neck of Tengu. So he runs into Mother Soul briefly. Damien basically realizes he needs that book, although that's reiterated. But the part of the book that I really like, right? Because I like the fighting. The fighting was fun, but it's ultimately just fighting.
Yeah.
Right? The part I really liked is that Flatline comes over and talks to Damien, and it kind of turns into this weird bonding. She mentions all the other fights that are going on right now. Mentions the Drenched winning a fight. XXL beats Raptor off panel. Raptor got his ass whipped.
Very upset about that one, just because we love Raptor and we saw how much of a badass Raptor was, right? So,
but I don't know. He's put over XXL. XXL though, it was formidable because he beat Raptor that easily.
Right.
Ravager beat someone.
They said choked out a pro wrestler with his own fanny pack, which I thought was hilarious. But we don't know who this character was, right? Like.
Obviously, Cutter Hawk won his fight as well.
It's Johnny Fist. That's a good name.
And then Black Swan's taking on someone. Anyway, so
it's the double, right? Double Dare. Flatline is showing how much she pays attention to, right? Because she realizes that Double Dare, they're used to fighting as a team. So solo, they don't really stand a chance, especially against Black Swan, who's too graceful. Like I like that little moment that she's also paying attention.
Yeah, but Respawn's winning their fight as well. But what I really like is Flatline gives Damien his manga back, and it turns out one of the others tried to steal it. So they end up bonding a little bit over it, and we get a little bit of her backstory. She talks about how she kind of inherits the skills of whoever she kills, and she's been mentored by Lord Deathman, which is a great name. And there's a lot because a great moment here where Alfred says, "I like this one, Master Damien." And obviously it's not really Alfred; it's this Damien's subconscious. But the idea that he's starting to have feelings for Flatline is kind of funny to me. But when Ravager and Connor Hawk catch them under the bleachers and crack a joke about them having a makeout section. This is where I really started to. This was my favorite part of the book because this was like, wait a minute, we're getting a little Scooby Gang squad kind of forming out of this little team, which is Damien, Flatline, Ravager, and Connor Hawk, where they all care more about uncovering what this tournament's about rather than actually just winning it. That's
right.
I mean, not to say that Damien and Connor Hawk don't also want to win it because they do.
Yeah, they're both competitive a-holes that want to beat each other, but the two girls are kind of like, well, there's something bigger going on here. This entire scene right here this scratches the itch that I missed from Titans. Right?
Sure. Oh, sure.
From a Titans book. is that we have the young heroes interacting with each other. There's a group dynamic here. And I was like, oh yeah, Williamson wrote Titans for a minute. Like he's got that vibe down.
I think what's impressive about it is that it takes a Flatline who's either new or at least at the very least like was, you know, basically an unknown quantity, even if she was around.
Let's check.
But it basically took her and sort of gave her enough character that I kind of started to take her seriously as a character in this one scene. And then, you know, you throw in the others. Damien and Ravager are already on board with. Connor Hawke's kind of the mysterious one who's back. We're getting to sort of know this new version.
And I love that they're each the kind of problem son of their respective fathers, right? Like, has Connor Hawke addressed his dad here? Like, or not really?
Not really, I don't think.
Okay. So, like, just the fact that, too, that, you know, this is Oliver Queen and Bruce Wayne's sons at opposite ends of this. I like that rivalry that keeps going. Flatline's all...
It doesn't even stop there, though, because you have even Ravager being Deathstroke's daughter, Flatline not being...
Well, and Lord Deathman is the Batman of Japan's, like Joker.
His nemesis.
So, you know, so this is, nemesis. So, like, this is, like, she's almost his Harley, if you will, or sidekick. Let's not say Harley, because there's other connotations there. But, like, yeah. But just looking up Flatline, this is a Williamson creation. So this was her first show up and already doing a good job at her origin. It, like, you know, just the idea that she's surrounded by death all the time, so she sought out Lord Deathman, you know, and then he sent her here to learn from other people, which I think is a great, like, for her being in the tournament, because she absorbs people's skills when they die. Like, yeah, this is like her, like, in a video game going to level up.
Yeah, what I like about this scene, though, is just how much I actually enjoy them all interacting. It kind of... it already got me to a point where I was excited to have them try and, like, reluctantly work together to steal this book, because the book might have the secrets they want or whatever. And then even having Respawn kind of interrupt it like an antagonist. It's very clear from this interaction that Respawn, at least at the current moment, is not part of this group. Respawn is an antagonist to this team that is kind of starting to form. And I don't think I saw this coming. Like, when this book started, I don't think I saw it like, oh, kind of like a new, almost Titans-esque team is going to form out of this. But it kind of feels like it might be now. And I'm kind of into it. Like, there's that panel of them all lined up when they're talking to Respawn in Profile. And I'm like, I kind of want this team now. I hope this book kind of becomes this now. Right,
and I like all of these characters too. Like, these are all ones that I already, you know, adding Flatline, but like Ravager, when she first started showing up back in the, you know, mid-2000s, I thought she was a great character, just doing the whole Deathstroke thing, and then being almost the anti-Titan, to where she was kind of, you know, begrudgingly hanging out with them.
I think this is almost like kind of the opposite of my point, though, is that it doesn't matter here who these characters are before this to a point. The book has made me like them all in the context of this story. One of the things that comes up a lot when we try a new Titans book or a new Teen Titans book or any new team book, really, is that when it's a bunch of characters we already know and we already care about, is that they get this leeway and it kind of takes a little bit of time to figure out that the writing's not that good or that they're not doing a good job. This has this weird benefit of, like, because it's like a mix of some characters who are either new or not used that much or coming back or whatever. The fact that it was able to make this team vibe feel exciting this quickly is like a really promising sign. And it means that, because I don't think the plot has ever been the exciting part of this book. It's always been the characters. It's always been Damien and, like, his interactions with the others. The plot of, like, what's going on here, it's fun enough. I don't really care that much.
I love the tournament, but
what I care about, though, is these characters doing this together and being on this adventure.
Right. I like the fact that Damien calls out Ravager for calling the Robins on her. He's like, "You snitch." Or then when she brings Connor Hawke over, she's like, "Oh, so first you snitch on me, now you bring this a-hole that already killed me." Like, just him being that petty and her being kind of the adult in the room, you know, for lack of a better term. But yeah, no, this is like, Williamson's very good at this type of stuff. Like, I don't think you've read Birthright, like, at all.
Nope.
But that book really gets cooking once you get to the personal dynamics of the characters and you start to see them interact with one another in different ways. And that feels very much similar to this one.
So that moves on to round 3, and Damien's fighting Respawn, and conveniently lets himself get knocked into where Mother Soul is, so he can steal the book. So it kind of becomes him reading the book rather than paying attention. And the final panel of the issue is Respawn's sickle coming in to grab him. But it's saying that next time we're going to be dealing with who Mother Soul really is.
Yeah.
Which Damien himself is realizing at the end. We don't know yet, so we'll find out next time.
No.
Yeah, I think what's fun about this is that assuming that our 4 main characters now, because now we have 4 main characters in this tournament, assuming those 4 win this round, they're going to be fighting each other come round 4.
Which makes me think that one of them is not going to get there. Because I don't think, like, looking at the tournament dynamics, But you have Robin versus Respawn, Hawk versus Double XL, Flatline versus Drenched, and Black Swan versus Ravager. So yeah, that's a hell of an Elite 8. And also I like that Damien has pieced together what the Lazarus tattoos and stuff mean. Like he's been, about all this. And I also get the feeling too that he's into this tournament for the immortality, but not for the reasons we think. Right? I feel like whatever this Lazarus Pit is, it's special. And I think he has Alfred in mind in that way that only Damien can be like, well, I can fix what I did wrong.
Oh, I'm sure he does. I'm sure that's what his goal is.
And the lesson he's going to have to learn is sometimes you have to just let stuff go. You know what I mean? And he's not going to be able to revive Alfred the way that he would want. Right? I got reading this issue, put that into my brain. I can't get why outside of him saying there's something bigger to the League of Lazarus here, but yeah, no, I love this book. I look forward to this every month, and this is the Williamson that I came up on before he was at DC. So
I think it's the best issue so far. I think the way the characters interact and the dynamic is put this into a new level that makes me excited about it on a character level, and I think once a comic book reaches that, it has sustainability, because ultimately if it's just a plot that's interesting, it usually is. It's very easy for it to decline very quickly if you don't care about the characters. So I'm into it. This is good stuff. The Melancholy Arts, it's there. The action has a lot of sweeping, a lot of motion lines, sense of energy in the layouts.
So, yeah, perfect artist for this. Just because when you get to the action sequences with the fights, it's all there. But like you said, that lineup shot when they're talking to Respawn just fits so well.
Yeah, you feel a team forming before your eyes, despite the fact that they never declared that they're a team or anything. It feels exciting because it's like, oh, these characters are coming together, and even though they've not agreed to it or admitted it yet, they're all kind of on the same side. And so I'm really hoping that we get like a good team for Damien to be a leader of coming out of this.
For sure.
Not that I suspect they'll like let him think he's the leader, but
no, not with Ravager. There, Ravager's like, just let him talk, and we'll figure this out later. I like their dynamic. It's very the Ravager and Damien dynamic. I just realized this is kind of the Stephanie dynamic that we enjoyed in Brian Q. Miller's in that one issue, right, where she's babysitting him.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that.
Yeah, it's very similar to that, and I like that. So, also, like, I can't wait for him to interact with John again. Like, I need to see Damien interact with Superman version John.
Oh, sure.
After whatever happens here on this island, how it changes him, I'd love to see that.
Yeah. I also love that this is leading to this little team becoming the team that's in this book. I kind of love that the book wasn't sold on that promise. It just it built to it and let us realize it in the story instead of being, hey, this book's about this team forming.
Yeah, it hooked me with a martial arts tournament, Iron Fist style, and then was like, oh, you like team dynamics? Here, we're going to give you a team as we build. And I'm like, okay, just give me more, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, if this is what the Robin book becomes, it's like these guys I'm more than here for that. Like if we get arcs with them, whatever happens, like a Lethal Weapon kind of story with Connor Hawke and Damian doing stuff. Like, yes, please.
That's a weird leap that doesn't seem to be connected to anything else we talked about, but sure. What are you giving this book, Matt?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 8.5.
I am also going to give it an 8.5.
When I said Lethal Weapon, I meant more 48 hours. The two guys on opposite sides. That's what I meant to say. The Lethal Weapon came into my head. Started seeing Danny Glover and Mel Gibson.
Even just going with the buddy cop with two of them just felt like a weird sort of leap to me. But
well, no, because they're both on opposite sides, right? Like they both don't like each other, and the fact like they have to go and figure out something for an arc, and learn to like each other. I'm here for that.